Hello everyone. Today I've taken a full-fledged question on cost sheet. Since the question is quite big and covers all the area, what we are going to do is, as and when we read the question, we are going to mark under which category each of these items fall. Now first, direct material purchased. Direct material purchased will come under direct material. Next is GST paid on purchases. Input tax credit available. Since the input tax credit is available, we are going to put, is this our cost? No, this is not our cost. This is our asset. So this will not come in the cost sheet. Next is freight inward. Freight inward is when we are purchasing the raw material. So this will come as the cost under raw material. That is direct material. Next is wages paid to factory workers. Since it is factory workers, this is our direct labor. So this cost will come under direct labor. Next is contribution to PF and ESI. Again, this is a labor cost which is incurred for the factory workers. So again, it will be under direct labor. Production bonus paid to factory workers. Again, a kind of labor cost. So direct labor. Next is royalty paid for production. Now this is an expense. It is not a material. It is not for labor. So obviously this is an expense. Now under expense, whether it falls under direct expense or indirect expense. Now can we continue with the production if we don't pay the royalty? If we don't pay the royalty? Obviously not. So this will be under direct expenses. Amount paid for power and fuel. Now amount paid for power and fuel can be categorized either under direct expense or factory overheads. How? For example, if you are paying the charges for the fuel, it is the payment made for indirect material. So indirect material which is used in the factory, it will come under factory overheads. Or you can say that you are paying to the contractor for the power and fuel, so it comes under direct expense. I will consider it as factory overheads. Next is amount paid for purchase of molds and patterns. Life is 2 years of production. So this is like a fixed asset purchase for us. Now fixed asset, life of 2 years. So what we are going to write is divided by 2 will give us the depreciation for 1 year, which will come under factory overheads because the molds and patterns are used in the factory. Next, job charges paid to the job worker. Now, we have certain work which is outsourced and we are paying job charges for this. This is again an expense without which our production cannot be completed. So, it will come under direct expense. Stores and spares consumed. Stores and spares is our indirect material consumed. So, this will be under factory overheads. Next is depreciation on factory building. Obviously a factory overhead. Office building, admin overhead. Plants and machinery. Again a factory overhead because the plant and machinery is in the factory. Delivery vehicles. Delivery vehicles are used for selling and distribution. So that will be under selling overhead, distribution overhead. Next is repairs and maintenance. Now repairs and maintenance of plant and machinery. Again the plant and machinery is in the factory, so factory overhead. Sales office building, so again selling overhead. Vehicles used by directors. Now this is for the admin purpose, so it will be under admin overheads, which is not related to production, that is the general. Now coming to insurance premium. Insurance premium of plant and machinery will be again factory overheads. Factory building, factory overheads. Stock of raw material and WIP, again factory overheads. Now next is salary to supervisor. Salary to supervisor. Supervisor is again in the factory, so it will be factory overheads. Expense paid for quality control. This is our special item, and salary paid to quality control. So this will come after our factory cost as a special item. Next is R&D for production, again a special item. Expenditure paid for production control. Now nowhere in the cost sheet we have to write this separately. So now pollution control, where will you control the pollution? Obviously in the factory. So this will come under factory overheads. Next is expense paid for administration of factory work. So this will come under admin, which is related to production. Admin over related to production. Next is salary to manager. Salary to manager, that is the production manager, factory overheads. Finance will come under admin overheads. Sales and marketing will come under selling and distribution overhead. Salary of general manager will again come under admin overhead. Next is packing charges. Primary packing charges, we have a separate item. For redistribution, it will come under selling and distribution overhead. Fee paid to auditor, again an admin overhead. Interest and finance charges, if it is not related to any equity related interest, then equity or debt related interest, then we are going to consider it. Otherwise, we can ignore it also. I will consider it. It will come under admin overhead. Fee to legal advisor, again admin overhead. Fee to directors, admin overhead. Performance bonus paid to salary staff would be selling and distribution overhead. Scrap realization, we have a separate item after factory cost. Next, they have given us the stock value as on 1st April and as on 31st March, the closing and opening balances. Now we are going to prepare the cost sheet. This is the format of the cost sheet. It is already ready. Now, when we are starting with the question, we have to see, will have to look into each and every item so that we don't miss any of the points. So first, we always start with direct material. So direct material consumed. Direct material consumed, we have various line items. Starting with the opening balance. So opening balance of raw material. It is given to us as 18,000. Inner column. Add purchases. That is 10 lakhs. Add. So once we finish each item, we'll just make a tick mark here. Add GST purchase, we are not going to, GST paid, we are not going to consider. Next is freight inward. Freight inward of 11,206. So this is also considered. Any other direct material items? No. Less closing balance of raw material, which is given to us as 9,600. So we get the direct material consumed here as as 10,19,606. Next is direct labor cost. Again, we have few line items here. First is the wages paid. To factory workers. That is 29,200. Add the contribution to PF and ESI, that is 3,600. Then we also have production bonus paid. That is 2,900. So my labor cost comes to 35,700. Next is direct expenses. We have considered this, this and this. Next is direct expenses, that is royalty, paid for production, that is 1726. Any other direct expense? Yes, job work is there. So job charges paid of 8120. So the total direct expenses is 1726 plus 8120, that is 9846. So we have considered this as well as job charges. So we have considered all the direct expenses. What we get is the prime cost. So what we get is the prime cost. So what we get is the prime cost. Next, after that, we add our factory overheads. We have quite a few factory overheads. Let us write them one by one. First is the amount paid for power and fuel. That is 4620. So this is considered. Next is pattern amortization of molds and patterns. That would be 8960 divided by 2. Since the life of it is 2 years, so it would be 8960 divided by 2, that is 4480. This is also considered. Next is stores and spares consumed. That would be 1120. Next is depreciation. Depreciation, we have quite a few things. Factory overheads. This is factory building. That is 840. Then plant and machinery. That is 1260. Next is repairs and maintenance. Repairs and maintenance, we have plant and machinery. 480. Next is insurance. Premium of plant and machinery 312, which is here. Next is factory building. That is 181. We have stock of raw material and WIP. That is 360. Next is salary of the supervisor. That is 1260. Next is expense paid for pollution control. Next is salary of production manager. Next, okay, so this is the total factory overheads. If I do a total of all the factory overheads, that would be 4620 plus 4480. That would be 24,779. If I add factory overheads to this, what I get is the gross factory cost. That is equal to 10,89,931. Then add opening WIP. The opening value of WIP is given to us as 9,200 less closing WIP, which is given to us as 8,700. After the adjustment of WIP, what I get is my factory cost. That is what we get is 10,90,431. Next, after factory cost, what do? We write down the admin overheads. Add admin overheads, which is related to production. So admin overheads related to production. Before that, let us first tick whatever we have already considered. We have considered this. We have considered this. We have considered this, this, so that there is no confusion. Okay, next is admin overheads. Now admin overheads only related to production come here. That is specifically given to us as 1,186. So this also we have considered. Anything else which is specifically given to us for the production? No, there's nothing else. So we are going to write here as 1186. Next is our special items, that is quality control cost. Now under quality control cost, we have two items. First is the expenses, which is item number 16 here, 196, and then salary paid to the quality control staff. That is 962. Next is add research and development cost. That is also given to us for production as 182. Next, add primary packing charges. That is also given to us. That is here, it is 960. Last we have realization of scrap. That is given to us as 860. That is 860 here. So what we get is our cost of goods produced. That is, when we add a total of this, what we get is 2626 plus 10,90,431. What we get is 10,93,057. This is our cost of goods produced. What do we do after that? From cost of goods produced, we try to come to cost of goods sold. So then add opening stock of finished goods, that is given to us as 11,000, less closing stock of finished goods, that is 18,200. So what we get is 7,200 negative here, and we reach to our cost of goods sold. $10,85,857. After cost of goods sold, we are going to add all the admin expenses which are general, which is not related to production. Admin overheads, general. We again have quite a few admin overheads, general. So we have office depreciation of office building, that is 560. Next is vehicle repairs and maintenance of vehicles used by directors, $196. Then we have the salary of general manager, that is 12,560. We also have finance manager, that is 9,180. We have fees paid to the auditor, that is 1,800. We have fees paid to legal advisor, that is 1,200. Then we have directors, that is 2,200. And we have the interest and finance charges. That is 7,200. So the total of general admin overheads would be 34,896. Then we have selling and distribution overheads. If I see here, I have considered all these items. The first is delivery van, depreciation on delivery van. Together we are going to keep checking that we have covered all the points because this is the last point. Next is the repairs and maintenance on sales office building. That is 180. We have considered all these points. Next is the salary of sales manager. We have redistribution packing charges. We have last performance bonus to the sales staff. That is 1800. So we have considered all the points. Just keep checking that we have ticked everything. This will not come, otherwise all other points are covered. So total of this would be 14,080. So what I get here is cost of sales. That is this plus 34,896 plus 10,85,857. That comes to 11,34,833. So this is my total cost, and here we end with the cost sheet. In case the profit or the sales figure is given, we'll include that as well. I hope this question has made your cost sheet doubts clear.